Привет всем! Today we're looking at new releases from Ukrainian manufacturer ICM. Hi guys, we're looking at the new 2022 catalogue. It just came out. It's available for yourselves to download and look in your own leisure. Last year I had a look at obviously the 2021 releases. Just as a forward, some of the items that are marked as new, they were scheduled for 2021 and been delayed somewhat. But what we're going to do is go through the catalogue, not in its entirety, but just basically look at what is new, the new up-and-comings from ICM, Ukrainian kit manufacturer, well known for actually ease of construction, low parts count, and very good models. Looking obviously at the cover, and you can see the cover star on there. This was announced some time ago, so let's go through. Basically, everything in red is new for 2022, or coming out 2022. But I'll point out where we've got items that were announced last year, but they didn't appear. So, and also I'll try and find out which ones are like a new version of something that we've already seen. Anyways, as you can see, massive catalogue, many scales. ICM caters for lots of things. New aviation scale. Here is their big star. They're going to bring out a 1/35th scale CH-54A Tahi. This is a heavy lift helicopter. There's a daisy cutter bomb attached underneath it. They used to use these in Vietnam. Drop that. Used to blow everything away, and they could basically use it to form up a LZ for airborne helicopter assault. Anyways, surprising announcement. Now announced quite a while ago. Also, on top of that, for some reason, they already released the Cobras in 32 scale. They're bringing out a couple of them in 35th. New molds. So have they just upscale them? Well, downscale the molds, don't we? If we got to 35th, it's actually smaller than the existing 32 scale kits that you can buy. Anyways, let's have a look at what's new in 32 scale aircraft. All these are existing. This is labeled as new, a DH-82A Tiger Moth with bombs. Obviously you can see the Tiger Moth was a previous model that they brought out, and this one has got some bombs. I never knew they were fitted with bombs, but obviously I suppose they had to practice bombs, so that's maybe what they're doing there. Big announcement, Yak 9K Soviet World War II fighter. Here we see a picture of the actual aircraft. Note for that huge, I think it's like a 30 or 30 plus millimeter cannon, actually located firing through the prop spinner. And already they announced straight away there's 3 versions coming out, celebrating French pilots operating in the Normandy Niemen Squadron, which was obviously a Russian squadron with French volunteers. So what we get, I suppose, obviously is just the same kit, but you get a figure. It doesn't tell you how the figure is going to be seated or, you know, standing, but whatever. We've got this 32 scale aircraft coming out, 9K. I think this is excellent, to be honest, because World War II Soviet fighters not that well covered in 32 scale. Massive bonus, seeing we haven't got any from any other manufacturers at the moment. So that's really, I think that's going to be really welcome. Yeah, the 9T. So that's one of the, you know, another big announcement. You know, brand new kit. A 32 scale Arctic Cobra. Okay, they released the 32 scale Cobras last year, so this is interesting, right? This is pretty cool. It just says the English patient. It's got a roll of film. It's got the English patient movie aircraft, Tiger Moth and a Stearman. So have I watched that film? I can't remember, but some of you will probably know that these aircraft are in it. And obviously, I suppose they've got the markings that fit in with the film, so it's going to be probably a double boxing. Kind of cool, kind of interesting, I suppose. And also, so I think you do find you get yourself a bit of a bargain. Excellent, again, from ICM, as I did point out. They include many pilot figure sets in 32 scale. So, you know, very easy to do your dioramas. In this case, we've got US Army Air Force pilots, 44, 45. Really looks like quite a cool scene. Photographer there prior to mission boarding. And we've got Soviet Air Force pilots, look as if they're just walking out, ready to board. Assume those are the poses that are going to be depicted. 48 scale aircraft. This was announced previously. Hasn't come out yet, but should come out this year, hopefully. The Mistel, which is a Yonkers 88, which will be basically flown by a piggybacked ME-109. The idea was to use this U-88 as a massive bomb, and it would be radio-controlled, piloted by the ME-109 pilot and flown to its target. I think that's pretty welcome. It would be a very impressive model. I think Monogram may have done that many years ago, but new tool should be quite welcome. Hopefully we will see it this year. And another big announcement as well, again, catering for stuff that is often neglected by the other manufacturers. We've got the Ki-21 LB Sally Japanese heavy bomber. Even though it's a twin engine, this is considered a heavy bomber. I thought it was a medium bomber. And is there any other versions of that coming out? We don't know when it's going to appear, but obviously welcome. Also, another variant of a Yonkers 88, a Yonkers 88 A8 Paravane. This attachment here is, I believe, designed to cut the wires from those dirigibles, those barrage balloons, and this was to defeat them probably prior to torpedo attacks or whatever. So interesting. Look at how many they've got in that selection. New molds, Gotha GO242 German landing glider in 48 scale. Interesting. That would be a good candidate for 35th, wouldn't it? But and they've got the 242A. So those are new molds. Might have been announced previously, I'm not too sure. Continuing the B-26, B-26K, Counter Invader early, so they've got many in this B-26, A-26. And here's another version. This one comes with the pilots and the ground crew, so you've got a ready-made diorama. And the Jig Dog, which is an invader with the drones that are strapped onto the wings there. So they did one already. That one's out there. One of the QT Firebee drones. This one has KDA-1 drones on it. And there's the same aircraft, US Navy, I should have pointed that. US Navy JD-1D, which is the Navy descriptor for that A-26 aircraft. Any versions of the... Yeah, this is a bundle, again, forward base, they call it, which is the AH-1G, OV-10A Bronco, pilots, ground, so a big bundle of Vietnam era stuff. You wonder as well, will they come with some sort of cardboard base, or do you just get the kits? This is a double boxing, so they label it as new. You get the OV-10A and an OV-10D in one box. And here we are. This is a Navy version of the OV-10A. I suppose it's got different stores on it. Somebody will know. I didn't actually know that the Broncos were operated by the US Navy. There you go. ICM catering for that. And yeah, okay, this was announced in the 2021 catalogue. They obviously didn't get round to it, but now we see it, hopefully in 2022. A Beaufort Mark 1 British torpedo bomber, and on the back of that as well, we've got a Mark 1A with the tropical filter, so operating in the Mediterranean area, North Africa, World War II. So 2 kits coming out, hopefully. Anything else? US helicopter pilots, Vietnam War. I can't remember if they were announced previously, but they're coming out. And RAF bomber and torpedo pilots. Well, we can already guess, can't we, that there's no doubt that we'll see the Beaufort come out with the British bomber torpedo pilots. I think it's excellent they cater for them like that. I haven't seen many built. How many of you guys are building the 42, 32 scale aircraft with the crew? Interested? New 72 scale Tu-2T. That's World War II torpedo bomber. Yeah, I think it's a derivative of this Tu-2S. Couldn't tell you how good or bad the kit is. Could be an old legacy one. Could be an excellent legacy one. Don't know, but regardless, we're going to see a Tu-2T coming out. Hopefully in 2022. And any more 72 scale aircraft? This is big news. They're bringing out the MiG-23 ML Soviet fighter in 72 scale. I would imagine as well, I suppose they're going to bring out quite a few versions of the MiG-23. ML, I believe, is the early version, early intercept version, before they brought out the modified ground attack type aircraft. So pretty interesting. They're catering for everybody, of course. And I think this is great. I think this is really, a lot of people get dissuaded when they see a new announcement, but it's not in their scale. With ICM, we already know that they're bringing out the KI-21 and 48, and now we see it in 72 scale as well. So hopefully at the same time they release both of them, and then the fans of either scale are catered for, which is a good thing, I would say. And of course as well, they are bringing out both versions of the KI-21 in both scales as well, because then we've got the LC Sally also coming out. Now we're on to military vehicles. Listed as new is this Type G4 Partisanenwagen with an MG34. So seems to be a derivative of this G4, just with some machine guns fitted to it. New here is a ZIL 131 chassis-based vehicle, something called an APA 50M Airfield Mobile Electric Unit. Fits in quite well with what they already have, which is fuel bowsers, and of course complementary to aircraft dioramas in 72 scale. Figure sets now, 35th scale. Just go down slowly. There's so much coming out. Don't miss anything. And here we are. ICM will surprise you. And here we are. We've got something called Brewster Body Shield US Infantry World War I. It seems to be some sort of armor fitted to US troops First World War. Just incredible. I mean, who would have expected a release of that? I think it's amazing. And to complement that, German World War I infantry and armor. This is probably like the Sturmtruppen, you know, the assault troops, shock troopers that they used, stormtroopers. First World War era, late wearing this body armor. So interesting. Interesting to see as well, they're catering more World War I. World War I Italian infantry in armor again. So again, just such cool and interesting releases. What else are we going to see? Okay, now we're at World War II. Figures. This is just, every time I look through this catalogue, I sort of see something that I missed. And in this case, Finnish Rifleman from the Winter War 1940, the continuation war, which is the area I live in, Russia, was actually heavily part of that Finnish Soviet war. So if I want to do a diorama about that, there's my Finnish Rifleman. Just a side note, really, just to show just how big this catalogue is, really, in terms of figures as well. And here we are, a new set of World War II German figures with the GRW-34 mortar, a mortar crew. New molds, new figure set. Military vehicles in 35th. New is, I think this is a derivative, obviously, of this SD KFZ 247. Gosh, I don't know. This seems a bit lame, okay? Because we've got the 247 Alfs B. That one's got an MG34 fitted to it. You sort of think, couldn't they have included both in the same box? Anyways, they're bringing it out. I'm sure somebody's going to be happy with that. So let's not critique it too much. And here, another variation of the FCM 36 chassis, which this time is a Geschutzwagen. They took these captured French vehicles, the Germans that is, in the Second World War, and modified them into self-propelled artillery. This one being a LE FH-16 105mm howitzer. So that's pretty cool. This is the mind-boggling that they just dropped this. I think it's so cool. They brought out the in 35th scale a Unimog S 404. So this is the early, I think it's maybe 1950s or 60s Unimog used by the Bundeswehr post-war. Pretty cool to see that. Big surprise. Awesome. New again is listed. What is basically, this has been released previously as a last Kraftwagen, and I believe this is just a civilian version, AHN2 French truck. It appears to be civilian to me. And carrying on from the G7107 series, US cargo truck. New, it's a variation. Come on, guys, do some recovery versions, do some fuel Bowsers. Bring out something a little bit more interesting than just the cargo versions. But still welcome to see that. And the G7117, again, it's just a variation of what's already been released. Okay, new is, this is cool, really cool. Highlight for me, actually, is this AR2 hose fire truck. So this is a civilian, contemporary Russian firefighting vehicle. Haven't seen this one in my town. We've got the big Kamaz and we've got the Urals. I've got a ZIL 131, but we haven't got this AR2. It probably more in the bigger cities, but they're bringing out civilian fire engine. I'm happy to see that. And then also we have something called a Kung. I have a feeling this is container Gruzvenik, I'm guessing anyways, but basically this is just the box body container that is included in this release here, 35002. It's the modern box body that fits on a Kamaz, and also looks very similar to the one that's on the AR2. The AR2 has got some differences though. And new molds as well. They announced the Studebaker, but I'm sure they had a Studebaker out before. I think I mentioned last time these trucks provided by the Lend-Lease Americans to the Soviets in the Second World War have a legendary status in Russia. Even to this day, they're regarded as like hero vehicles, and probably that's why maybe they're releasing quite a few of them. So we've got two versions of that Studebaker coming out. New is OT-34, which is the flamethrower tank based on the T-34. That's obviously they brought out a few T-34s previously. More versions of the Lafley V15T that came out last year. Unusual looking vehicle because of this unditching feature at the front, these two wheels. Okay, so following on from the Lafley that they released last year, we've got a version, same version equipped with a Hotchkiss machine gun and another version in German service. You just see the difference there with the no-tech light fitted and the fitted to the headlights there, and some German markings obviously. Going through the cars, trying not to miss anything for you guys. So many new releases. I should count them up. If you guys want to count them up, I'll try and do a list of what's coming out new. But, you know, amazing really. Everything's getting covered. And here we are. This is a version in this is 1/24 scale. Basically civilian cars. This is a version of the the very first Benz motor wagon, and they've got an easy version with plastic wheel spokes. I'm gathering the previous version here had photo etch, so that's easier to make for those not too keen on working with the photo etch. I wonder if they include the photo etch as well, though. You know, give you the option. That's the preference. 1/16 scale figures, brand new. They also add one on again. They got the World War II Soviet assault engineer Sapper. He's in the amoeba camouflage uniform, and he's got the bronzier. He's got the armoured breastplate there. And prepare to be intrigued. In 2022, apparently, we're going to see Squid Games figures. 3 Squid Games figures to fit in with the Korean TV series that's been out recently. Cool again. Why not? Interesting. See if there's any ships and submarines. Yes, we've got one new ship. I was hoping that we'd at least see one new ship. And although it's small, I think it will be welcomed. It's I'm gathering that that's in the 1/350 scale. It's a, pardon my pronunciation, Geschutzwagen. German multi-purpose boat. Quite a small-looking boat, small-looking vessel, probably coastal. But at least they didn't, at least we've got one new release of ships. Okay, here are Diorama Sets. And what we've got is basically bundled together kits. Self-explanatory. That is not a big surprise. That brand new starter vehicle with the fuel Bowser, a MiG-29, and some airfield precast concrete plates, ready-made 72 scale diorama in the 1980s. So these are just bundles. I wonder if they're proven popular. I'm gathering they could be, because you probably get a really big saving. When you get there, this is a big set here. Battle of France, you get a SDKFZ 251, a 2516, Einsk Plat KVZ2. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3 vehicles and the drivers as well. So it seems to be 3 vehicles in a set. And in this set, this is the Battle of France, Panhard 178, AMD 35, FCM 36, and a Lafley. That's 4 vehicles in that one, I believe, isn't it? No, my mistake. 3 vehicles. The Panhard, the AMD 35, yeah. 2 tanks and a wheeled vehicle. Hold the Rope Willie, which is a Burger Panther. German drivers, German tank drivers, and Panzerwagen Camp 4, so a Mark 4 tank, yeah. And another bundle very similar to that one up there with the self-propelled howitzers, Geschutzwagens. Paint range, And that is the end of the catalogue and the new releases. So many new ones, with the star of the show being that huge helicopter. But I think a lot of people are going to be really pleased seeing the new Japanese heavy bomber, 35th scale for helicopters as well, diversified, lots of new stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave your comments below. This is Bear, and I'm out of here.